We're now joined by Dhru Shah, the CEO of Dentinal Tubules, and David Horne, the CFO. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you very much.
So we've got some fun facts about you. Dhru, apparently you only sleep for 2 hours a night.
3 a night when I'm tired. But that's what I go on.
How long have you been? How long have you been doing that for?
10 years. 10
Really?
years. 9.5 years that I've been running this. But I've probably done that lack of sleep for a bit longer than that.
So you just don't need a lot of sleep.
No, it's a full passion I'm driven by, and driven by that, sleep comes in the way. I feel sometimes. But these people will tell you. My team will tell you. There's just. Yeah, it's intensity and fun of ideas for what I deliver and like doing. So that's why, yes.
He's non-stop.
Well, good for you. I still need my good solid 7 hours, but each to their own. Dhru, are you ready to pitch?
Yes, we're good to go.
So you've got 10 minutes.
I'm going to talk about dentinal tubules now. It's the whole tubules project actually, and it's my vision. My vision is education to the world. That's what I believe in, that nobody in the world should go without education. Now, I am a dentist or a specialist periodontist, so I went through about 13 years of education and training. And I came through a tough period, and education gave me that power, that energy. So I started Dentinal Tubules in dentistry because almost start the project where I know best in my industry. Now I call it the world's longest startup because for 8 years I worked in dentistry full time, funded everything I had, funded my time, everything on this on my own. And when David came on board in about 2016, we worked out I was doing the job of 38 people on a part-time basis. That's why I need 2 hours of sleep really every night. But it was a pure passion to inspire, use education. The business is about using education and knowledge to help people overcome their daily problems and to really inspire people to be the best that they can be. And that's where it came on board. Now, David came on board in 2016 as the CFO and helped me raise some funds. So we raised just over 500,000. And with that, we built a whole new platform because our platform was very tired. And we really decided to get a team on board and do a lot more. Now, our aim, our vision from Dentinal Tubules is to become the world's leading education provider for dentists and keep up their CPD, which is what they need to keep their license. But beyond that, it's also, I've learned over the years that online is one form of learning, but dentists like to learn different ways. Everyone's got different learning methods. So we are the leading online education provider in the UK. And globally, we are beginning to get recognized very well. We're in the top 3 or 4 every time people mention an online education provider in dentistry. But we know we can do a lot more than just online and become a globally big education company. And behind that is the users who have a certain value. And that value is they want to help people with knowledge and help each other. So we're building a community of users. Now, we have something like 33,000 users on the website, which has been built hugely through word of mouth, very little through any active form of marketing because it was only me and the budgets were limited, etc. Now it's brilliant. Now we have a team, so I am the CEO, and a lot of people define CEO as completely eccentric and off his head because of the ideas I come up with, so it's great fun. And David's the CFO, and Kala, who came on board, and she does a lot of hard work and is the operations officer. Gavin is our CTO. He looks after the technology, the website. We have Iftikhar, who is our content manager. Stimia, who is contracted and does the social media marketing over the last 12 months. And then we've got Jemish and Ketan, who do the media side of things. So we do live streaming, videos, etc. But the idea is really that they're frustrated dentists, somebody who really is tired of dentistry. And they need a sense of hope, a sense of inspiration. Then there's the time-poor dentists. They're always working in their practice and they need somewhere to go and get their CPD. And obviously the practice owner, not just for themselves, but their whole team needs CPD. Otherwise, the business could be in trouble. And there's the enthusiastic dentist who can't get enough of education. They just want to learn more and more and more. And here we have pictures of our own users. But ultimately, all of these guys, they need 2 things. One, a convenient, a great way of learning and CPD to keep their license. But secondly, a community, because once they integrate with the right people, they're just passionate and enthusiastic. And ultimately, that's where we as Dentinal Tubules step in. because at a very low subscription point, we charge £250 per year for our individual membership. They get access to the full online content. They get access to our entire study club network. In the UK, we have one in India and other countries around the world, and the access to about 32,000 members on the website. And on top of that, if they then want to do more, they can do some longer courses that we do, because dentistry is a practical art, and they can come to a conference, etc. And this is the base on which we built. Now, a big opportunity came to us that this was our core income of the subscription, and then the courses and the sponsorships added onto that. And I can give you all sorts of testimonials, but people send messages like this, out of the blue message, that we are very, very grateful and privileged for the association with Dentinal Tubules, and that sort of a thing. People tell us thank you because we inspired them. People who are about to give up hope, people who really wanted to quit the profession, all that sort of thing, and they're really inspired. These slides will go back again because you've got to catch up with what I was talking about, because I was going a bit faster. But here's something else. Someone who was going to quit dentistry straight after graduation. She now loves what she does. If you watch this video, pause it, read these testimonials, worth it, because this is what drives me, the change we make. Alif Musaji is a smiling dentist, he calls himself, and his whole practice team has signed up to Tubules because they love that they get their CPD, their license is ticked, and they're energized. The UK market of CPD alone is 57.1 million. Globally, it's much bigger than that. And this is not just online, but all the CPD that's available. And our future potential lies in increasing this revenue growth in the UK, increasing revenue internationally, and our initial focus is in 2 countries, and in India and USA. India, we have an office we set up this year and is building. The USA, we have people interested in trying to sign exclusive contracts, so we're at that stage. And in essence, not just online, but we can tap into the full learning market for courses, all those elements. Now, in the UK, something interesting happened last year. The General Dental Council, who regulate us, brought some new rules in. And when they brought these new rules in, it basically meant that people had to do all sorts of other bits, like having a personal development plan. The CPD they could do was very limited because it had to be quality assured, it had to meet certain criteria, etc. And that has increased our revenues, and the opportunity is very big now. And so we have to have additional funding so I can get to 4 hours of sleep a night and still deliver the vision. And we do have competitors. I don't like calling it competition because we think out of the box, and I always feel they do a little bit of what we do. We like thinking we're different, and Kala will say at Tubules we do things differently. That will make her happy. Thank you.
Dhru, thank you very much. That was really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Eddie, you got any
very,
questions?
very enthusiastic. Tell me more about, you said we're different to your competition. Tell me more about what way? What makes you so much better?
Number one of the difference we have is the values of our community. There's a sort of humility and this real necessity that we want to help people. The people who sign up to our site don't go, what's the content I'm going to get? It's that give and get, that I'll give something and I'll get something together. That makes us different. We innovate. We're set in a live streaming studio. Now, at Tubules, we were doing live streaming from 2012. And we were different. Nobody in dentistry was doing that at that time. In fact, no one was building video libraries at that time. We're different because we built this year something called the Intelligent Personal Development Planner, because they have to do it anyway for regulation. But they built their personal development plan. Our system captures their learning behaviors, what they want to learn, and we ping them the relevant content. So we are moving towards personalization of CPD and learning. Because why would you want to learn about something which you enjoy? So we don't want to ping you that, we want to ping it to you. And that makes it different. That makes it almost every user feels they're looked after individually. And they love that they've looked after individually, and yet they are in the most helpful community in the world and learning. And that brings it in.
And the foundation.
And the foundation is very important. Yes, CSR, we have the Tubules Foundation. 3% of all of the Dentinal Tubules money, not the baseline, the top line, all the money goes into the foundation. The foundation is a charity we set up to support basic education in deprived areas of the world, little kids who can't go to school. I believe our vision is education to the world, and as these dentists are learning, they love it, that a part of their money or time goes to this. And we're building our first school in Africa as we speak. And it delivers the vision of education to the world. So that, if you think about the whole thing, it makes it very different. It's not just come and get content. There's more than that.
So is there a vision beyond CPD then? Does it go much broader than CPD? If it's about education generally, or is it broader than CPD for dentists?
It's at the moment, Dentinal Tubules is about CPD, but I like to call it CPD plus, because while you do CPD, you get the other paths, the inspiration. The vision's beyond that. The vision's education. We believe if we can build a good community on Dentinal Tubules, we can take it to, Meditubules or pharmacy tubules, healthcare, business, anywhere there's a need for people to get inspired through learning and education. And that's what the passion that drives our entire business. Yeah.
Very interesting. Dhru, you mentioned that dentistry was quite a lonely profession. It's something that I suppose you don't know unless you are actually a dentist. Is that true?
As a dentist, I work like this. There are 4 walls, my nurse is here, and I'm here looking like this in this little piece of mouth from 9 o'clock in the morning to 5. That can get quite lonely. And you need people around, and that's part of it. People can turn around the computer and connect with everyone. They will come to our events because they get to meet other dentists who are just not that small world, and suddenly that's what brightens their day up. It is, and that's one of the things. You can easily get stuck in your 4 walls, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. I couldn't do that. I'm a big thinker, so I had to move out and do this. But dentists like that, yes. So ultimately, that's what we want to approach with.
You keep your patients very happy and entertained, even on your 2 hours sleep a night.
We try our best. Yes, I can function on that.
David, I hope you're getting a bit more sleep than 2 hours.
Yes.
David manages it as long as I'm not,
I turn my WhatsApp notifier off when I go to bed.
Otherwise, Drew's going to be messaging you
I often wake up in the morning and there's about 100 messages from Dhru, but that's fine.
So that's what we work with. Yes. We are at the moment on Crowdcube and we are looking for a fundraise, but it is this expansion that, this real growth in the business that we feel is now going to need more funds to do a lot of activities. So I believe that if we get that, we can continue delivering this vision.
Great. Well, Dhru, David, you certainly have a lot of passion and enthusiasm for the business. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Tonight.
Thank you.
If you'd like to find out anything more about Dentinal Tubules, you can do so on Crowdcube's website. That's crowdcube.com.